Hello and welcome back to the Man United agenda. This is the player ratings. Hello, welcome back to the Man United agenda. Please go like and subscribe. We are on the road to 1k subscribers, and if you do go and subscribe to us, you are at a chance of winning a free Bruno Fernandez shirt. Yes. With me today, I've got TalkMU and I've got Matt. How are we both?
Good.
Brilliant. For a Monday and a defeat, I'm not too bad, actually.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about them two things, Matt. I forgot it was Monday, and I forgot about the feet. The feet. Yeah. I forgot I had feet. I forgot about the defeat. I'm trying to like obscure it, obscured by clouds. It's like, oh gosh, what a terrible weekend that was. But anyway, that's what we're here to discuss.
Yeah, we're here back, and we're doing the player ratings for that unfortunate defeat today. On Saturday for the Man United versus Leicester. Matt, what did you think of the game?
Awful. And it felt good sometimes, how we got back into the game. We drew it 2-2. And then after that, I was just like, what on earth is going on with our club? Like, how are we letting 2 goals in the last 10 minutes? We should have been bouncing on the fact that we could have won that game. But Leicester did exactly what we should have done. Yeah, I'm gutted, Maisie. Very gutted.
Yeah, I'm feeling your pain, honestly. My heart I just feel like...
Still wearing the shirt, Maisie, though. I'm still wearing the shirt, that's the
wearing it proud. Talk, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, same. I mean, I did a watch along, and it was you?
I was with you.
With me? Yeah. And I mean, I did. Do you remember when I said about I said, "Oh, this doesn't bode well." Harry Maguire's first touch, it was to put it out for a throw-in. So at that moment, I was thinking, "Oh no, that's not a good start." And so it was to continue. I mean, it was just yeah, we were just sort of we weren't at the races in any way, shape, or form. It was we were getting in the right positions on the pitch. We just weren't pressing. We weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing, and it seems a little bit kind of lazy and lethargic. And what that is down to, there's a lot of rumours floating about that it's the players aren't happy with volley and they're not trying, and blah blah blah. So we've just got to wait and see now what becomes of the game on Wednesday against Atalanta, and more importantly, the game coming up against Liverpool, which, I mean, there are rumblings that there's going to be some kind of protest at this game, whether that be against Ollie, whether that be against the owners, I'm not too sure. But and even more to the point, whether it'll be actually outside or inside the stadium, because like we were talking beforehand, I mean, if they're going to try and do a protest and make it successful, which I don't think, there's no need to be protesting, I don't believe, at this point. And I just think it's a bit of a we just don't want it right now, in my opinion. I don't want to see that, because I don't think it's going to really affect what's the decisions that are going to be made. But yeah, if they were going to do it and make it a real successful one, they would do it inside the stadium. That's my opinion, But again, we'll have to wait and see what transpires on that one.
Of course. Before we do these player ratings, we've got a couple of comments here, so we'll quickly go through them. We've got Ankit here as well. Thank you, Ankit, for tuning in.
Yeah, Ankit.
Monday, let's go, Maisie. Let's have him. Such a disappointment. Yep, I'm feeling exactly how you're feeling on Monday. Yes, Matt and TalkMU, loving the retro shirt, Matt. 1985 FA Cup final. Yeah.
A little bit earlier.
84.
Yeah, 83. But I'll give you that.
83, 84 season. 83, 84.
But they didn't change them for very long, did they? Back in the day, they used to like keep with them.
Yeah,
for at least
they done them every couple of years, didn't they? Monday, do you still have a hangover, guys? Maybe I'm still drunken after. I still feel drunk after the game I've watched, maybe. But
do you know? Can I just say? I was going to say. I mean, yeah, all right. Disappointing results and performances, but do you know what worries me more than anything else is that we dismantle everything that has happened with Ole up to this point. Because if all that gets dismantled, and then somebody, yeah, all right, new manager bounce and all the rest of it, it's always a risk. And like I've been tweeting, we've proved before that with supposedly great managers, they failed. Not second place and a Europa League is not a success at Manchester United. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. It ain't. If you think it is, then I'll ask you, how long have you been supporting Man United? How many games have you watched of Man United? What do you know about Manchester United? It is not successful, right? Along with the really crap football that was being played in order to go gain those achievements, shall we say, right? It was not good. And so we've already been there and we've done that. Now, for me, Ole has done absolutely fantastic in getting the club back on track. We all know what we're talking about. And now is it the moment of, right, something's got to give here. He said it himself. Someone's got to give, someone's got to change. And I believe that is going to happen. Now, whether it be the formation or whether it be he's going to be more braver in his selection and trusted, and even maybe even start dropping some of these names. Start dropping some of these names who aren't performing on the pitch, right? You know, so what? Big names, I don't care. You're not here just to put your big name on the pitch, mate. You're here to do a number. Jadon Sancho, for one. Again, he's not doing it. He's shirking responsibility, not being brave enough. And I've had people, people go, oh, but he's only been here for this amount of time. He was playing in the German league. Don't care. You know what you're coming to. Your agent has said to you, you want to Manchester United want to sign you. What do you think? You ask yourself the question, am I brave enough to set this on? If you say yes, then you've got to then go out there and show it, right? We ain't here at a club to say, okay, we'll hold your hand for the next 6 months, mate, while you sort of settle in. Don't matter about the club and what we do in terms of results and everything. We'll hold your hand and let you settle in. Bollocks. Get on the pitch straight off the bat and go for it, right? I want to see it. I want to see it. And the rest goes, the same goes for the other players who aren't quite pulling their weight at the moment. You can't be doing that. And Ollie needs to grow up here right now and start saying it and get them all in a room. Get the youth players in and say, right, listen, you, and you are not playing in the next game, right? But you kids there, I'm putting you out instead. That is going to make them big senior players. So what? To spit the dummy out and stamp their feet. But something has to change. Either if they're going to sack Ollie, sack him, right? There's nothing we can do about that. But if they're not, then Ollie has to make these really tough choices and these tough decisions to make a point that I am not here. I'm not a pushover. I'm not here to mollycoddle you lot. We're not mates. I'm your manager. You do what I say. End of story. And if you don't, you ain't getting on the pitch. Simple. Rant over.
We all love a TalkMU rant, don't we? We've got Anthony in the chat as well. Thank you for tuning in, Anthony. Now, after hearing Talk's rant, we will go with the player ratings now. Do that through Tearmaker. We will start off first with our goalkeeper, David De Gea. Talk, what would you rate him for David De Gea?
Talk.
I'll go with you.
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry. I didn't even know I was muted. I was going away there. I was like rattling on again. And I was like, all right, okay. I'm muted. Right, David De Gea. Oh, crap. I can't give him any more than a 4. I'm sorry.
I agree
Gets a 4.
completely.
Gets a 4.
What man of the match?
No. Matic was man of the match.
I think Matic was man of the match for me.
Man,
I think
De Gea got man of the match for Man United. He
Did he?
got it.
Well,
Yeah.
not for me. He didn't. He's getting a
he
4.
wasn't my man of the match for
I'm
me.
being
What would
harsh.
you, what are you going with, Matt, for David De Gea? What would you gonna rate him?
I'm going for 6.
Oh.
Why? Because I can't blame him for them goals. He made some great saves. Like he did what he was meant to do, but some of them goals were down to defenders, and that's where we're going to go along and figure out where their ratings are. I can't blame De Gea for that loss. Would be wrong.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go with a 5 for now. If people change their opinion and some people in the panel does go lower, we will put the score lower. If it's a little bit higher, we'll go with a little bit higher, but we'll go with the average in between. We'll go with a 5. Where is De Gea now? There he is. Oh,
Pick him up.
Picking him up.
Yeah,
That's exactly
grab him
what
by the
we do.
scruff of the neck.
There.
Yeah, we was doing what we should have done for the game, putting Fred on. So the next player who I'm gonna go with now, I'm gonna go with Wan-Bissaka. For me, I actually thought Wan-Bissaka was our best defender on the pitch yesterday, on Saturday, in my opinion. I don't think he was the worst player. He was definitely not the worst defender on the pitch. He did a couple of good tackles, like that one-on-one tackle that was really good in my opinion. That was a standout one for me in particular. For me though, I can't, just because of the amount of goals conceded, the loss, I can't rate him any more than a 5 neither. What are you going with, Matt?
A 2/3. He didn't. To me, he didn't look that great. He made some reckless challenges where they just skipped past him like he was not even there. And he could have got red carded for some of those incidents as well. So I'm going to be fair and give him a 3.
Talk, what are you going with for Wan-Bissaka?
Oh yeah, so I know what Matt's talking about, and just think, you know what, when you're in a team like that, playing like that, you know, you've got to. Some players sort of try too hard because they can see. You know, you can see that it's not working. You can see that it's not working because they're being played in front of you. So I just think Wan was trying a little bit too hard. But for the effort, I'm going to give him a 5, just for the effort.
Matt's face just says it all. But yeah, so both of us have said a 5, so we'll go with the 5 for now. If it goes any lower, we will in the chat put that a little bit lower. So at the moment, there's 2 players, both on a 5. We'll go next with Maguire. I feel like with Maguire, it was not his game whatsoever. I am going to be very harsh. I am going to rate Maguire a 2, just because I just felt like I felt like he wasn't his time. He had one training session. He shouldn't have started. He shouldn't have even been on the bench. Yeah. I felt like the majority of the goals, it was him at fault, in my opinion. And for me, I have to rate him that 2. What do you think, Talk?
Yeah, listen. Sometimes, you know, a player's desire to want to go out on the pitch must be overruled by common sense in terms of the manager. And I think that Harry Maguire was, well, you know, in his mind, he's like, yeah, I'm up for this, boss. I want to go home. I'm ready. But Ollie shouldn't. You know what? It's a learning curve again, though, isn't it? You know what? Ollie should have known better and said, look, no. Listen, you've not had enough time. No, I'll bench you. I'll put you on the bench, but that's as far as it goes. Right, you're in the squad, but that's as far as it goes. And so, you know what was it? I mean, he's come on, and yeah, like we said, the goals were down to individual errors there, really bad individual errors. And yeah, I've got to go for a 2.
Matt, are you feeling the same with Maguire?
Well, I agree with him being number in the 2 bracket, but I can't say that wasn't Ole's fault. That was Ole's fault. If you're not,
no, yeah, that's what I said, Matt. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That Ole should not have. Ole should not have, because the players, like I said, the players' desire to want to go and play. The manager should overrule that. and say, listen, I know you want to play some, but you're not ready.
Yeah, you go on your physios. They know. They go, look, Ole, we've done the tests. He's not 90%. He's probably about 80%. Do you want to risk it? An 80% player who might play like half the game or maybe a little bit more. He played a lot, the whole lot, right? That was just desperation I felt from the club because we didn't really want to try anybody else. And Phil Jones was like raring up to go, and he didn't even get the chance to play. So look, yeah, I think Maisie, I agree with you as well, and talk that that last goal as well was down to him not being aware, focused in dreamland, absolute dreamland. So yeah, two's being very, very nice.
Do you reckon? I was having a think. Do you think it might be down to the armband as well, why he might have played, just because he's our captain, and you feel like we can't drop the captain? Like the captain needs to play. Even if he's only 50%, the captain needs to play, because if there's you just don't want to think of speculations around the club as well if you're not starting your captain. Would you both agree with that?
Well, Maisie, I think that I don't see him as a captain anyway. So I don't get the whole point of like him being fit to be the captain. I think there's better players in our team that could be the captain. There's no disrespect to Maguire completely, but he's not shouty. He doesn't really try and talk to players or change things or do things in training where he's trying to kick people up in the air and let them know that this is Man United. You don't get away with that sort of thing. He's not that sort of player for me. So, I mean, I don't even see him as a captain. So that it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ollie needs. This is another thing that he needs to learn to do is like, look, it's a risk bringing him on because we know he's only just come back one training session, and then Ollie's got to then be brave and say, all right, okay, look, no, I ain't starting yet. I'm going to start, Baye. I'm going to start Baye. Or even who else have we got there at the back?
Phil Jones.
Phil Jones as well. I mean, listen, we're laughing, but at the end of the day, I believe 100% Phil Jones would have come on and done a better job. No two ways about it.
Potentially, I think it could have actually been Eric Bailly's game as well, because from when Eric Bailly last played against Leicester City, he managed to keep Jamie Vardy pretty quiet. So that when you do look at that from the previous game, you would have potentially tried to give him that chance. And if it didn't work, he could have always subbed on Maguire if that was really needed.
When was the last time he played a game?
That's good.
Phil Jones. It's been a long while.
Yeah, very long time.
A competitive game anyway.
I wouldn't have been too confident in him taking on that role with being out so long. And he gets injured when he's not even playing. So imagine what he'd be like on the pitch. I don't know. He needs to go. There's no point of him being there on the bench.
Whilst I've got you there, Matt, Lindelof, what was you thinking for Lindelof for the rating?
Do you know what? I'll give him a 6.
Mm-hmm.
He set up the Rashford goal. That does look like a sort of CDM role, doesn't it? How he can just pop a ball over the top and see that. We didn't have that from Maguire. We probably wouldn't have got that from Jones. I don't even think from Varane would have done that. So I've got to give him credit. He's had it tough. He's lost his place, and he's still getting assists. And he has done quite a few times this season. So I'll give him a 6, because the guy's been pushed out, and yet he's still getting assists. I think that's a very good thing to do as a centre back. So yeah, a 6, I think. They're not all bad. They're not all been bad. I'm not all bad ratings, but a lot.
Talk. What are you thinking for Lindelof? Are you thinking the same?
Yeah, I mean, he had an okay game, I suppose. Them passes that he can ping out are quality.
It's a great ball.
Even on his weaker foot, it's just absolutely wonderful pass. And
even Ronaldo didn't see it, did he?
No.
You know what I mean?
So it's for that alone, yeah, I've got to go with a 5.
A 5?
5.
Okay.
Damn.
Put him as that 5 then for now then. And if anyone does change their mind and rate him a little bit higher like Matt has, we will put him at a little bit higher. Anthony, as anyone watching Arsenal tonight, I hate watching Arsenal if you two are not. He's also said I couldn't give anyone more than a 5. Captains are crap today. There are no soft like Bruce or Adams. So we'll go now with Luke Shaw. I also did not think it was Luke Shaw's game for me. He did have a couple of going forward, but he was kind of like he was helping Sancho out that a little bit as well, just because Sancho was a bit too nervous, and because Sancho was nervous, Luke Shaw had to pass it to someone else, which was leading for Leicester to pick up the ball again. For me, I can't rate Luke Shaw any higher than a 4, in my opinion. What are you going with, Talk?
Listen, this is what I've been banging on about with Sancho, is when you're in a partnership like that, because it is a partnership, right? Luke Shaw's there to support Sancho and also make it possible for Luke Shaw to do overlaps, underlaps, whatever you want. But every time Luke Shaw gives the ball to Sancho, he has to then retain his position, because he's probably erring on the side of I know he's probably going to give this back to me. So if I move out of my position, he's going to then be in a bit of a pickle. What's going to happen? So Luke Shaw, like you said, Luke Shaw's trying to babysit Jadon Sancho. That shouldn't be happening. You know, Jadon Sancho's got to be more. He's got to be braver in his decision making and just, go. He's got to go off. He's got to start doing that, so that when Luke Shaw then is playing and doing the supporting role, he then feels confident that, right, okay, look, I'm giving you the ball, and then I'm going around this defender. I'm going around there right back, and I'm going to get down the side, and you're going to find me. But until he starts doing that, then Luke Shaw's going to feel, I can't do that. I've got to keep passing the ball. Then I've got to stay in this kind of inside position here. Just and for me, it's too easy to read. If you keep doing that in the game, they'll block the passing lanes and get into the right position, which blocks across and force you into making another decision. And the decision that Luke Shaw's not going to make is to try and carry the ball too far forward, because he knows then there's going to be a huge hole behind him, and with Sancho being in the mindset he's in at the moment, that's the problem. So again, is it the score for Luke Shaw you want, isn't it?
Yeah, Luke Shaw, yeah.
I'll give him, just because I like Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6.
Matt, what are you thinking for Luke Shaw?
I'm going with you, Maisie. 4, straight up 4. Nothing else to say, really. It wasn't his fault necessarily, but he still didn't do enough for me. I can't give anybody really good high ratings. So yeah, put him in the 4.
Yeah, we'll put him as the 4. If people do agree with Talk and rate him at a little bit higher in the comments, we will change that at any point. We'll go now with Pogba. For me, this is Pogba's worst game so far this season. He didn't do well whatsoever, and I'm going to have to rate him a 2, just like Pogba. Just like Maguire. He did have absolutely terrible stats overall, and it just literally felt like if Matic weren't there, I would actually fear what the scoreline would have actually been, to be honest. So I've got to rate Pogba a 2. What are you agreeing with, Matt? Are you thinking 2 as well, or do you think that a little bit higher?
No, I think 2. I think you're right. I think it's scraping between 1 and 2, but I'll give him the credit of giving him 2. Not a great game at all from him. Was non-existent. Didn't really see much of him at all. Didn't really have any flair play from him. Didn't really ping balls along. That's why I give Lindelof a higher rating, because you want to see that from Pogba. You want to see that from your midfield, not from your centre backs. So yeah, I'm going with you, Maisie, straight away. 2, yeah.
Yep, Talk, are you thinking the same?
Look, I mean, Pogba, we know he's a great player, and he wasn't his best game. I know that wasn't a lot of players' best games, but I just thought he was actually putting himself about a little bit in that goal for Leicester when he was in the box. He was in the box. He was actually back helping to defend, and obviously he's not a defender. but he was actually making the effort to get back to defend. It's just that he just doesn't understand the responsibilities of being a defender. He could have made a difference in what happened in that goal by making some better movement choices, to put a bit of pressure on. If he'd have been, rather than being sort of static and thinking, oh, all I've got to do here is just hold this position, it wasn't the right time in that move for Leicester to be holding a position. It was a time to make a decision into going, right, well, I need to be here. I need to be somewhere else here. I can't just be standing here because it's in the middle of nowhere. I'm not protecting anything, but I can't be too hard on him, so I'm going to give him a 4.
A 4. Okay, so what we'll do, because there's a couple of 2s and a couple of 4 here, so we'll put in 3 in the middle, and then if that does change, we can always amend that at any point.
I'm happy.
Yeah. But whilst I've still got you there, Talk, what are you going to go with Matic? Because I do actually think Matic, for me, was Man United's man of the match, and I would actually rate him a 6. I feel like if it wasn't for him, I feel like the whole team would have just crumbled altogether. It just felt like he was that rock, and then as soon as he came off and got subbed off, it felt like the game just crumbled into a million pieces. So
yeah, he was doing well for us. He was doing well for us, and he was putting himself about a bit. He got himself a bit too far forward at times for my liking, but he was just trying, because obviously, like I say, when you're playing in a team like that and you see, it's not that it hasn't got the same kind of feel to it, the tempo wise. You've got certain players will then try and sort of pick the tempo up themselves, and I think Matic was guilty of that. But he was, for me, he was the best player on there. So I'm going to give Matic, and I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay. Matt, what are you going to be rating for Matic?
I'm going to rate him a 3.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
You out of your mind?
he has to be taken off. Like he is okay at that position at some points, but he can't last to 90 minutes. Like,
don't let OMONDI hear you say that.
You've got to be off your feet.
I know.
Let me ask you this: this morning when you go out of bed, right? Did you bang your head?
No, I just realised we got the CDM position that even Chelsea got rid of him.
There's more than a 3.
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, that's harsh, Matt. That's harsh.
It's not. Lindelof, you said no. I'm not having that. No, you can't. Lindelof had a better game, so how can I put him above him? No chance.
Harsh.
It is harsh. Maybe it is harsh, but the guy's done. Matic is done at Man United. He'd be a good bench player to come on and see the game off, but he can't play a whole game. He's too old for it.
No, I know what you're saying. It's I'm just trying to find
something
positive out of this, but
I'm not putting him in that position because he personally, we know he's old. He can't necessarily do the job for 90 minutes. It's not his fault. But I just think 3/4 because that's the problem we've got in our team, isn't it? We need a fresh, young CDM, and he can't do it. He just can't do it every game. So,
right, okay. Just because there has been that mixture, we'll put him as an average. We'll put him as a 5, and then whatever is different, we can always change that later on when we do look at the comments. So. We'll go through a couple of the comments here. Anthony, if Arsenal win tonight, we're a point behind Man United.
Oh God.
Let the team all. I'm not. No, let's not, Anthony.
Wait. What did he say? Oh, I can't work that out. Let's the all team in the dog.
Yeah, I think he's calling us.
Have you been drinking, Anthony?
Anthony, you're getting too excited. Please, like 1 finger at a time when you type, okay?
Carrier said, people are blaming Ronaldo. Really, we guys had the best team against Wolves. King Tony, big up 3 legends, big up King Tony. King Tony has said, we may have lost, but at least we didn't hit for 4.
King Tony. Steady on there, mate.
I say, aren't you being a little bit harsh, old boy?
Gary has said 3 for Matic is harsh.
Yes,
what would you rate? What would you rate him, Gary?
Well said, Gary. Well said, my son. Matt, you should stand in the corner with
No, I'm Man United. We're Man United. There's no such thing as harsh. You get put in your place. All right, he's not the CDM for us anymore. We got to get rid.
Anthony has said Matic will be at West Ham next season to replace Rice. King Tony has said big up to the Doctor who saved the Newcastle supporters' life yesterday. Yep, big up to the Doctor. Yep, massive respect there. And Anthony has said thanks, Matt. Yep, so we'll go to our attacking options now. We will go with Sancho, and I'll start with you, Talk, because for me, I'm not rating Sancho any higher than a 3. And I know we did touch on Sancho with Luke Shaw, and it's for them exact same reasons you have stated.
Yes. Well, listen, he gets a 0 from me. He gets a 0 because at the end of the day, this is how many games have I been saying it's the same thing?
Several times.
Game after the game.
A lot of times, yeah.
Right. So for me, if he's not up to it, he needs to speak up now. He needs to speak up now and say, yeah, look, I think I've made the wrong decision here, guys. I need to go back to Dortmund or I need to go somewhere else. I can't handle this. Some players just can't handle Man United and Old Trafford and the crowd and the expectancy and the everything else that goes with it. And also the feeling around Old Trafford. I mentioned this before. Not a lot of people seem to understand that when you go to Old Trafford, right, especially inside it, whether you're a player or whatever, or some kind of staff member, there is a certain feeling around that club, right? And some players can cope, some players just shrink and dry up, and then they'll blow away in the next transfer window. If Jadon Sancho does not start being braver and stepping up to the plate, I believe he's not going to last. Simple as that. So he gets a 0 from me.
Are you agreeing with the 0? Are you agreeing with the 0 there, Matt? Are you agreeing with King Tony and Talk?
No, I never give anyone a 0 unless they had a red card and then tried to kung fu kick somebody in the crowd. I mean,
how dare you?
No, I'll give him a 1. And look, the reason why is he has the experience now. He played at Dortmund. He done very well there. Season on. And he hasn't settled down at Man United, and I'm not sure what it is, but he doesn't deserve anything more than a 1. So I'll give him a 1.
Yeah, we'll put him as a 1 then, just because I do feel sorry for putting him at a 0, to be honest. I'll stay with you, Matt, for the next person, Bruno Fernandez. I do not feel like it was Bruno Fernandez's game. He was quite quiet, even though we did get that assist for Starboy Greenwood. Apart from that, it just felt like you didn't really see too much of Bruno, in my opinion. So for me, I can't rate him any higher than a 4.
Yeah, you know what? I saw more of history than I ever saw of him this weekend. You know what I mean? It's not whether it's his fault or not. I'm not sure, but he does run around and he does try a little bit. But yeah, you know what, Maisie? I'll probably put him in with Pogba or Maguire, 3/2. It's up to you guys. I don't know. I'm in between them two. Do I have to say one?
So you want to go between 2 or 3, depending on what other people are going for. Talk. What are you going for, Bruno?
Yeah, look. I mean, we turned. He's our creator, and he was like the rest of the forward players weren't really getting back enough, and yeah, we do expect a lot more from him. And I just seems a little bit of sour grapes from Bruno at the moment for me. I think he's got himself in that kind of, like when you get in a real mood about something, it saps your energy, doesn't it? You just your whole verve and like everything, it's gone for what it is you're going to do, and you're just like, like a bit like what is it called? Kevin, Kevin the teenager, arms are flapping about like
Kevin and
like that to me. Yeah, seems a bit like that to me. And,
I hate you.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? So yeah. And so yeah, again, you got to be harsh with these guys because they're earning an awful lot of money, and they've got to step up to the plate. So he gets a 1.
Okay. Okay, so we'll put him as the 2 because I know Matt was going between 2 and 3, so we'll put him as a 2 for now, and then if people do change their opinion, we will get that changed. So this is the player ratings as it stands. So if there is anyone in the comments who do want to say on what player ratings you want to go for the players, please say in the comments. We'll go to Talk's favourite player, and I'll stay with Talk now for Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood.
10?
10.
It's because he loves him.
I'm like
But it
Len
was a
Goodman.
cracking goal. It was a cracking goal, just like King Tony has said. Absolute cracking goal in my opinion. And I would actually go with a 6 for Mason Greenwood, in my opinion. So what are you going for?
Mason, yeah, 10's a bit over the top in it, but I do love Mason. He's a fantastic talent, great kid, and I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what? It shouldn't be really too much his responsibility to be tracking back too much as well. To be fair to him, so I'm gonna give him an 8 rather than a 10. But I ain't going no lower than that. And if you ask me, I'm gonna fall out.
Matt, what are you going for Mason Greenwood?
I'm not going to go too high. I'll give him the highest probably at the moment, a 6. I did say De Gea 6 as well, so I'll give him a 6 for scoring the goal.
That Christmas card has just been ripped up and put in the bin, Matt.
Good. I don't celebrate Christmas. Bar humbug.
Bar humbug. I've never even understood where does it even come from, that phrase? I don't understand what
it
it
comes
is.
from Scrooge.
Yeah, but what's it like humbug?
It's a sweet, isn't it? A humbug, yeah? It's a sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's it got to do with Christmas though? I don't get it.
Because humbugs are Christmas sweets, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't have Christmas when I was a kid.
The bar humbug. Ever had a humbug? Shut your mouth.
Whilst I stay with you, Matt, what are you going with Ronaldo? For me, Ronaldo, he did have a couple of opportunities. He didn't do that there. He was tracking back a lot to defend. At that one point, I see him real far back to defend for us. I'm going to go with a 4 for Ronaldo. What are you going to go with Ronaldo?
I'd agree, Maisie. And it's actually what Talk said actually yesterday on the show that we did with Lauren. The fact that he is still physically able to do the role. He did look off the pace. He did look like he was aging during that game. You know, it was sort of like, this might be a bit too much for you, but I think he can bounce back from that. And I don't think necessarily it was his fault. He is number 9. He is a poacher. Wasn't probably getting enough balls into him. And I know there's a lot of talk about Cavani plays completely a different role to Ronaldo, which he does. So I don't know what to do with that situation. The fact we've got 2 really good number 9s. But I wouldn't be critical of Ronaldo. You know, we all love Ronaldo. But at the end of the day, we're talking about one game. So I'm going with you, Maisie.
Talk, do you agree with that 4, or do you think a different?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for Ronaldo because you know what? He's all he has in his mind is, you know, give me that ball and I'm putting it in the net. But when he's not getting the chances, when he's not getting fed, it's so difficult for him, and he can't help himself from then starting to search for the ball because he's like how would you say, you know, like when a kid's got a comfort blanket. Ronaldo's comfort blanket is the ball, and if he's not getting it, he's going to try and start looking for it himself. Doesn't matter what you tell him. His instinct is going to be, I'm getting pissed off here. I need the ball. Give me the ball. You know, he's going to go looking for it. And so for me, I just think that if again, this is another thing that I'm going to raise here now, is put this question to you, is Ole, everybody's talking about Conte. We know what Conte brings. It's a 3-5-2. Right. Well, Ole, you do a 3-5-2 then, Ole. You do it. Right. Put Cavani and Ronaldo on and in a 3-5-2. Right. You'd have to, obviously, you'd have to use one of either Dalot or Telles, not both. I don't see why we'd have to use both Telles and Dalot in a 3-5-2, not necessary. You know, whichever's the strongest side, use that one. Okay. So for me, Ronaldo, I'm going to give him. I don't want to be too hard on him, man, because he's.
It was difficult. It was difficult to
A
give my
5.
rating.
5.
Oh, okay. I said 4 with Maisie. I don't think he's
Right, this is going to be so difficult, but we'll put him as that 4 for now. And if it does change, we can always refer
God,
it
if he sees this, right, he's leaving United. You know that, don't you?
Don't say that.
Oh, he's in the comments right now. Yeah, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
King Tony, United is a bunch of underachievers with the talent they have. Tielemans 9, Leicester man of the match. Talk sends a Christmas card with his fridge on. He's also said Ronaldo 6, no fault, and shouldn't be a one-man team. And Anthony has said, I think you three need a big Gooner hug at this result. What do you think?
Yes.
I'll be sick if you give me a Gooner.
No, I'll take a hug. I'll take a hug off Anthony. I think he's. I
wouldn't touch him with a stick.
What, even a barge pole? You wouldn't touch him with a barge pole?
Not even a javelin pole. All right.
Well, Anthony, you know where your mates are, Anthony. So remember me on your Christmas card list, son.
Not on this side of the border, mate. No chance.
We'll do this one together as our subs. Last of all, we got Rashford, we had Lingard, and we also had Scott McTominay as substitutes. For me, Rashford gets a 6 because he scored that brilliant goal, and he just brought a little bit of life to the squad. But in terms of Scott McTominay and in terms of Lingard, I'm not rating him any higher than a 3. What are you both thinking?
I agree with you.
Part of him.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put anyone in 0. That means you just literally did what Danny Rose did against Liverpool. That's a 0. So, no one was quite that bad. I give the other 2 1s.
What are you saying, Talk, for both? For Rashford and Scott? And
no, Rashford gets
Lingard.
a 6.
Yeah, do you agree with that?
Lingard and McTominay, nah, forget it. I mean, all right, listen, I'm just being a sulk. I'm being a crybaby just because it didn't go our way. But I suppose realistically, you have to look at it for what it is. You know, they're coming into a game where it was just impossible because the rest of the team were just by that time, I think they were already beaten physically and mentally. You know, and it was always going to be a tough ask for them. And but to be fair, I'll give them both a 3 each. You know.
A 3 each. Matt has said 1 as well, so we'll go in the middle.
That's outrageous.
We'll give him a 2. We'll give him a 2. We'll give him a 2.
2 of them 1. I think Rashford should get 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll put them as the 2 then, and then we'll put Rashford already at 6.
Yeah.
So here is the player ratings for Man United versus Leicester. Honestly, it's very disappointing to see. So I do hope after the Liverpool game we do have much better ratings for the following week. We have got a couple more comments here. So we've got here Antoinette, you shouldn't take that, mate. Anthony said, you love it, sweet cheeks. I won't, King Tony. And King Tony has said, Rose has been finished for ages. Yes, so that, rumours has said that there is a protest what is going to be going ahead, so we will touch on that little tiny bit as well before we wrap up. Do you want to discuss a little bit about it, Talk?
Yeah, like I said at the start, I mean, I'm kind of thinking, I mean, what I firstly want to ask you is what do you think there's anything could come from a protest if it's against, for example, Ollie? If it's an Ollie out protest, is that going to hold any weight and sway with the owners and the decision makers at Old Trafford? Is it really going to help?
I think it's ridiculous. Honestly, I mean, everyone's gone and bought the shirts and that. You got your wool pulling over your eyes about this whole thing in the summer. You were all excited. Now it isn't going the right way. Now you want to do a protest. You're the people that have bought into this problem anyway. I didn't buy the shirt this season. And it's not necessarily that you're buying the shirts or whatever, but everyone was going, yeah, we got Ronaldo now. We've got everybody else. We can buy the brand new shirts. We're finally done. Ollie's the best. And then you realise that we haven't probably got the right manager to fit the team that we've got. And I'm not cool with another protest. Not when everybody went and bought the shirt. Now they want to go outside protesting with their new shirts on.
Especially not against our most difficult, one of the most difficult and
They
the
did the
biggest
exact
game
same
in English
against
football.
They did it against Liverpool last time,
Yeah.
if you remember. Held the game
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, well, they ain't going to succeed this time, I don't think. I don't think they're going to succeed because, you know what, wherever this rumour has come from, listen, the police and other agencies have got their moles in these groups, these WhatsApp groups.
I don't think they want the Glazers out. They just want to poke at it and go, Glazers, do something. And then they go, we'll get Ronaldo. Yay! Ain't going right. Oh, Glazers, can you do something else? No, we want the Glazers out. So you got to keep with it. You got to keep with it. No matter who they buy in, if you don't like who owns the club and you feel that they're not taking us the right direction, you stick with it. No matter if they buy bloody Messi, Ronaldo at the same time, it's still the Glazers.
The thing for me, what should happen here is if they are so hell bent on doing a protest, if it's against Ollie, wait until the game was finished. Right? Let the game play. As soon as the game is up, then make your noise and make your protest heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
That's the time to do it. That's the time to do it. Not before, not during. But again, we just don't know what's going to happen here because I feel like I just said, you know what, the authorities, they do have moles, they do have people in these like Facebook groups and all the other Twitters and all the rest of it. So they'll have their kind of heads up on it. And
we're going to be there, aren't we? We're going to be there.
Well, yeah, if it's going to be a problem, then they will preempt it. They will preempt it by making themselves very, very visible way before the game, you know, and it'll be a bit of a kind of, people turn up thinking that it was going to be a free roll to sort of gather in big groups. Because no, the police won't have none of that. They're breaking big groups up. They will be saying, well, no, over there, and over there. So I don't think it'll be a very successful attempt, if I'm honest with you. And they're going to make themselves look very stupid indeed.
So are the fans as well, though, So
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not going to protest because at the end of the day, maybe you agree with me, Maisie, and talk that everybody was fooled by the signings that we did this summer. I mean, they were great signings, they were, but you can't go and complain now and go, well, Ollie's not the right man for the job. I don't think he ever has been. So I mean, he hasn't. I mean, he was at first, but he hasn't gone the right direction for me now. And I think just having a protest again, just to throw your toy at the pram, and it's not cool for me.
We can't. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say that I'm like over the moon with Ollie and I'm all the rest of it. I'm not, because look, we all know this is far from good enough. It's like I've heard people say if this was another club, i.e. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, no, he'd have been sacked last season, probably the season before, right? So, you know what? Look, Ollie is a huge part of our club, our history, you know, a massive, and it would be, like I've said and stated before, for whoever makes that final decision to let him go, it's going to be heartbreaking because
he smiles after losing.
It's I think that's nerves.
Yeah,
Too nice, mate.
Yeah. What we'll wrap it up here anyway. Everyone, please go like and subscribe. We are on the road to 1K subscribers, and if you do go and subscribe, you do win. I have a chance of winning a free Bruno Fernandez shirt. Matt, where can we find you?
You can find me in Old Trafford on Sunday. Woo! Oh, actually, sorry. You can find me there, but you can also find me at Football United TV, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe, share, like if you can. But make sure as well you give props to Maisie and Talk for being a part of the Man United Agenda, which is a great channel. Make sure you subscribe, push that like, share. It really does help them out. And it's the best Man United channel there is in the world. I've said that so many times. Sticking to it.
Thanks. Big up to you, Matt. Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you on. Talk, where can we find you?
Our usual place, Twitter at iTalkMU, on Football United TV. Make sure you want to check that channel out as well if you haven't already. Some great things coming up on that channel also. And there's a great new show actually that's just been launched by Matt and Lauren, which I was the first guest on, which I was so pleased and proud to be.
Brilliant show.
The Premier League Sunday show, which is excellent. So yeah, make sure you go and check out Matt's channel. You'll also find me on Maisie's channel, which is there in her name, Devils United. And
I'm going the wrong way. It's
yeah, the other way, Maisie.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, left or right. Yeah, you can find me on Devils United, and you can find me here on Mondays doing player ratings for our Manchester United team. Please, like you say, go and like and subscribe. Thank you both of you for coming on. And Man United Agenda will be next on now at 8 o'clock for their usual Monday show. So go and check them out also. But until then, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Ciao.